Everybody, it's Rachel Tipton. I'm executive assistant with JV Zoo, and I'm here today. I am joined by Todd Gross and Paul Pona. Am I saying your name right, Paul?
Yeah, Paul Pona, yeah.
Perfect, Paul Pona. They are the creators of AnimationStudio. It's our product of the day today and has been for 2 days in a row, and we are just thrilled to have you here. It's a fantastic product, and people are going absolutely nuts over it.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
What problem does this product solve?
I'll let Paul do that one.
Yeah, so the major thing that we've noticed when we did our previous video technologies, video apps out there as well is, you see there's so many apps out there if you see solving a certain problem, but they all assume that the person already has technical experience. They already assume that that person will dive in and figure things out where, okay, you gotta go do from A to Z this part to understand how to go through the timeline editing, do all these complex tasks. And the problem is the majority of the people, you and I, we just want to dive into the app. We want to use it. We want to start getting traffic or conversions or even build it for a client or something. And then once we start getting some sort of result, we'll be more motivated to use the app long-term, right? So that is where the difference between what we've done previously with our apps and as well as with AnimationStudio comes into play, where we have built-in templates with pre-recorded voiceovers with Todd, right? So what difference that brings in as opposed to any other app out there is somebody can come in and say, okay, I want to create a wedding management or something.
I'll give you a better example. I had a sprinkler guy here today. He knocked on the door, gave me his bill. I said, do you have a video on your sprinkler website? He said, no. I said, well, I have something for you. Already made, already done, already with my voice on it. Boom. I could customize that in 5 seconds and give it to him. Any of our people that purchased the product can customize that sprinkler video and give it to him. So that's an example that Paul is trying to show, is just how quickly you can turn this around because of the templates, in addition to the fact that it's an easy to use piece of software. The templates, like never before, are catering to all different kinds of businesses with my voice already matched on them.
Awesome. So that leads really nicely into my next question. Who should purchase this product? Who's the perfect person to purchase this product?
All right. Well, I'd say, let me start with the person that would want to quick start selling to, let's say, local businesses, because the commercial rights are actually included on this product. And let's say the person that wants to go and sell videos to local businesses doesn't have much money and wants to have a way to do this, to start their business, to jumpstart their business without having to outlay a lot of money. Well, the front end product here of AnimationStudio is so low cost. I'm not sure when this interview is airing, so I can't say the exact cost, but we're talking about literally a couple of McDonald's lunches, okay? And with that in mind, and including the commercial rights so that somebody could then not only use this for themselves to highlight their own business, but to actually sell this to any kind of business. We have dozens of niches that we, are already done. I mean, that to me is the main person that should think about buying this, is someone that needs a way to get started without having to spend a lot of money and without having to learn anything technical. Paul, what do you think? Who else does this cater to?
Yeah, I think on top of that, it's also good for people who want to get into affiliate marketing and want to create videos for their own business. So let's say somebody has an e-commerce store, like I have my own e-commerce store. I want to create a video quickly to put it on YouTube for a specific product or something like that. I mean, I don't want it to be super professional. I just want it quickly out there. I want to create it in about 15 minutes time and put it out there so that if somebody in my subscriber list or somebody is looking on it on YouTube or social media like Facebook and so on, or Instagram, they want to quickly say, okay, this is what this product does. And they have a special running right now. So let me go jump in and get it. And it will get you that additional set of audience you've probably not thought about before. And the key element here, I think, that sets our products apart from everything out there. And that's why I think we get a lot of higher success rate. And I think even JV Zoo can attest, you folks, is we target folks from around the world. We have affiliates and customers from Brazil, who speak Portuguese exclusively. We have people from affiliate just from Spain, and that is Castilian Spanish. And we have folks from Central America who speak more of that US, Latin American Spanish and so on. And we were able to target these people by including an award-winning text-to-speech technology. So that means every single template and every single video that a person can create, you can just press one button. You just say, okay, Todd has made a voiceover, or let's say that we have all the scripting already done for that video. We just press one button and it'll automatically convert that entire video script and make that video now a completely animated explainer video in Spanish, Portuguese, German, whatever language you choose. Now, this gives a huge benefit for a lot of folks from around the world where they're kind of, if you will, ignored, I believe, in a way, where a lot of the applications that are created out there, they kind of ignore these larger segment of audiences. Internet is booming in these areas more than even in the US, Canada, North America. We take it for granted. And we attract these folks. And that's why I think even Todd can attest to this. We get affiliates from around the world every single time coming in and saying, hey,
Right.
you got to remember us, right? We, our audience, you got to up our audience.
They've been doing that a lot. And in this particular launch, as a matter of fact, have been working with us closely to try to make sure that what we are delivering is going to be very appropriate for these other audiences. These other languages.
Increases that spiral effect of not only helping their clients, but also allowing people to have better trust in us as well, right? Because we're able to solve an important problem. I mean, majority of the people, they might be able to speak English, but they might be more willing to listen or buy a particular tool if it can solve their local market issues in their language, right? So that's why we have that. Everything that we do specifically these days going forward as well, we'll be focused on that, where we'll be looking at making all our technologies be applicable to people from around the world. And that's a huge segment that I think even with JB Zoo, I think Laura from JB Zoo, she'll attest to, that's the growing segment of JB Zoo going forward. You want to tap into the worldwide audience. I mean, right now, we've actually mentioned this as well in our sales materials for AnimationStudio. I've just read, I mean, I'm not exactly sure the percentage, but 80% of the world doesn't speak English as a first language, 80%. So that means that's over, I think, 7 billion people or 6.5 billion people. I mean, that's where it's heading in, right? And so that's the major, I think, a huge selling point here, even for the English audiences, right? So we can create videos in any language, about 25 different languages at this point, and in 53 different accents and, you know, male and female as well. So that's a huge, huge, huge feature and benefit. I think that's that's probably one of the top 3 features in our app that is a benefit for everybody.
Tell me, is there any fun fact about AnimationStudio that we can't find on your sales page? For example, what led you to create this actual product together? Just any challenges or fun facts?
Yes. So what happened is when we were developing this app, and as I said, this is coming to this the text-to-speech element of the app itself. You know, when we did it with our previous apps, it did so well that we were thinking, how can we do it? Because there's some nuances when it comes to, you know, text-to-speech element. Like, for example, I could say to you, I just left the meeting. But left can be like turning right or turning left, right? It doesn't mean I left the meeting. So some words like that, when we were actually syncing it into the app itself, into our pre-built voiceovers and the pre-built scripts for these templates, we kind of had to pay close attention to that, because when it gets translated over to text-to-speech, you gotta be sure that it doesn't, like, I'll give you an example in Spanish. There was one template which I was working with, which said something along the lines of, we have 1 month left for our wedding, right? And in Spanish, when that's translated, it said, we have 1 month to turn left, right? So we had to change it over to, we have 1 month remaining or something like that.
Right.
To translate better. So that's a fun something.
Anything that you have, Todd?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just, you know, really enjoyed doing those voiceovers for this thing. And the fun fact to me is just an amazing fact. I was finally properly utilized, because just to give a little bit of my background, which we didn't really go over yet, I come from the TV world, doing originally, you know, weathercasting on TV as a meteorologist. And then a lot of folks know my story that around 2006, I transitioned into internet marketing. But even though at that time I was making videos and putting them on people's pages and saying, hey, look at me, you could put video on people's pages, we should be all doing this, and, you know, forging ahead with video marketing, I still was never utilized with my voice in this way for local businesses and specific niches. And I've seen many attempts at this before, but I've never seen the utilization of something that's so natural for me to do these voiceovers. So Paul would send me, or Paul got together with his team and my team, and we came up with fantastic scripts for these local niches. Okay, just fantastic scripts that were well researched, and some of them were fairly lengthy. Some are over a minute long. And all of a sudden, I'm getting all of this, and just like in the old days when I used to do weather, not just on TV but on radio, I had to just start reading these things 1, 2, 3, and churning them out. It was like the old days, And here, over the course of time, I had been getting a little bit lazy. I had been getting, I charge a certain amount, it's slightly above industry standard. So I'm used to getting several $100s each time I read one of those scripts. And in this case, I just had this whole factory of scripts that were being, coming through my computer saying, Todd, read this. But I went back into my old radio weather mode and just started churning them out. And we got them done, So that to me was a fun fact, is that I was finally properly utilized. So we now were able to kind of go to a new level in the marketplace of something that could be used for these local businesses by anybody.
I think the importance of what Todd said, what you have to get out of this, is he stuck to what he was good at from the very beginning, right? And he brought his skill in of voiceovers and being a spokesperson. I met him back in 2007. And since then, he's stuck to his skill set. He's improved it, got it better and better and better. And today is one of the most well-renowned spokespersons in the industry, or if not the most. And I think that's important for a lot of people out there to understand, is you got to just improve one skill.
Yeah, but I have a thing I can say about Paul that's very similar. I mean, I worked with Paul, as he said, starting around 2007. Around 2008, he was putting out ClickBank products, and his style of launching products with ClickBank caught my attention. When we grouped together for VideoPal, which was a JVZoo offering about 2 years ago, what happened was he came to me and said, let's launch this product together. And I got very excited about it. And I said, I'll do it, but I really want you to go back to your roots and launch the same exact way that we launched back then. That is, really build up the excitement and have perhaps a webinar before the launch to build up the excitement even more. And Paul has stuck to his original style of promotion. So it's the same sort of thing. Both of us haven't deviated too far from what we originally did, even though we've taken detours. Okay. So both of us have taken detours, and I'm a little bit off track here because I'm talking a little bit about marketing, but I just want to point out that when you stick with something, you end up becoming more successful than when you try all different avenues. So it's the same thing with Paul in my eyes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is super important for people who are just getting into JVZoo space, getting into affiliate marketing or creating your own products and so on. Just get good at one skill. You will get pushback, right? People will say you're not good at this, you shouldn't be doing that, and so on. I mean, when we were doing our VideoPal back in last year, we had some folks saying a webinar that shouldn't be done to explain. I mean, we're trying to sell a product that will benefit people, that will help them grow their business. And it worked for us so many years ago, but why wouldn't it work now? I mean, a person wants to know how a product works, what it will do for them, and ultimately how it will benefit them. And if you can demonstrate it in different modalities, it can be through a sales page, it could be with the sales video, it could be with an interview like this one. But ultimately, the main thing that a person wants out of it is the results at the end, right? They want to know that. So we got some pushback from folks about it. People were saying, oh, that's not going to work. Nobody should do it. But when it worked, now everybody's saying, oh, okay, yeah, it's the standard now or something like that. I'm saying that because it's important. Even when it comes to AnimationStudio, we get pushback saying, hey, with text-to-speech as a technology, it's not going to sound as perfect as human-like. But with the technology that we've improved over the last 2 years, it's as good as it gets when it comes to natural voices, especially when it comes to different languages as well that we're talking about here. Now, well, it doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you can reach 5, 10, 15, 20 people with that particular video, you've done the job, right? It's much better than not doing anything. And so that is what we want to drive home. I think that's where Todd and I want to drive home here is, when you get AnimationStudio and so on, we've thought through all this stuff beforehand where we know that ultimately consistency is king or queen, right? If you put out videos as quickly as possible, you do that on a consistent basis using the apps, technologies available. Of course, we would like to say ours is the best technology out there, the best text-to-speech, best video creation. And another cool benefit with AnimationStudio is you can create long length explainer videos. You're not constricted with making it for 30 seconds or a minute long. You can make it 5 minutes long because certain videos could be educational videos. I want to sell a product on vegetable juicing, the benefits of vegetable juicing for losing weight or gaining energy. Now I have to educate my audiences on that. So that could be a 4-minute video to sell a particular product or service. You can do that now with AnimationStudio. So we thought through all this, but the basic principles is what's key here. People will have to understand that we've thought through all this where, certain elements like text-to-speech will never be as perfect as a human voice, but it'll be 95% there. And 95% is good enough to get you the results you need to take your business to the next level. And that will apply for every aspect of business, right? I mean, that's the key here on how we look at and approach things. So yeah, to answer that question, I think we went a little bit in a tangent.
You guys answered and beyond. Thanks for all that industry expertise. People will for sure use that to their advantage. One last question for you guys. Why should somebody purchase AnimationStudio right now, today?
Paul.
Yeah, so what happens with our apps is that we raise the price as we go along with time because we want to reward people who take fast action. It's fair, right? Because somebody who's taken the time to come in, they said, okay, this will benefit me right now. I'm going to get it. We want to reward those folks by giving it for the lowest price and get in right now. So with time, let's say tomorrow, day after, a few days from now, the price will keep increasing at the point where it might be close to triple the price what it is right now. And the thing is, price is not the only element here. Something could be worth $2,000, something could be worth $20, but something that is $2,000 can be worth a lot more. But more than the price itself, what I always tell people is decisions bring results, right? So if you make a decision today, and if it helps you out, I mean, you're always backed by a 30-day guarantee either way. Where if you don't like it, you can take every single penny back. But at least you get an education of a lifetime on one end, right? Meaning you understood the power of animated explainer videos. You understood the power of creating videos from scratch and how that will help you, because we'll train you saying, okay, put up a video on Facebook, on Instagram, or even you can sell these videos as a freelancer or so on for clients and so on. We'll show you all these strategies which you had never thought about before, right? So you get that as well before everybody else, because saturation is another aspect in the industry where if you come in too late, you snooze, you lose, as they say. If you come in maybe 3 months from now, what's going to happen is you're going to lose that unfair advantage that you had when you got in before everybody else. And today, to succeed, you need to have an unfair advantage. No matter what people will tell you, you need to be the first movers in anything, in any industry, any technology, and so on, before everybody else to really get the big results. I mean, you'll see those everywhere out there. You'll see somebody, let's say, if, in this case, let's talk about creating videos in any language. So let's say I'm creating a video in a different market, let's say yoga studio or a property management company in Spanish or in Portuguese or something. Nobody else is doing that right now as we speak. Now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, somebody else might catch up to it and do it. So who's going to get the best results? Somebody got in today or 3 months from now? Simple as that, right? So yeah, that's definitely the reason. More than even the price, of course, price will keep increasing. But really, to get the better results, you got to get it today and now, literally, because always you're covered by a 30-day no questions asked money back guarantee. If you don't like it, no problems. So yeah, that's to answer that question. That's what.
Yeah, expounding on that point, I just want to point out a little philosophy of both of ours that I talk about a lot is low pricing, which is starting to get back into fashion because of us, but for a while was starting to run away for a bit there. When you have a very high quality product and the initial offer on the so-called front end of the product, the main product, comes in at a very low cost. There's an advantage to that that I found very helpful when I was first entering marketing at all. And that is you're not risking anything. So if for some reason you don't like it, you didn't really risk anything. Not only can you get your money back, but if you feel a little squeamish about asking for your money back because you haven't really tried it yet, you're not sure if you're going to try it for 60 days, because that's what a lot of people do, right? They purchase something, they say, maybe I'll return it, maybe I won't. But you don't have a risk here, right? So that's how I originally succeeded. I got many different products that were high quality and low cost, rather than sitting on a webinar and buying something for $1,997, going broke and saying, forget it. And that's what this offers, this kind of initial pricing. And then for those that are very serious about the product, some of the upgrades on the inside are perfect for those who are serious. And that's what we offer as well. And that's how we're able to at least make a little money on it. But we are very proud to
expound upon it, Todd, just to bring,
Yeah.
and a lot of people ask us this question as well, is how can you price your stuff so low? Like some of the pricing that you do, because we lose money when we do it. There's no question about it, to be very frank with you. But this comes around with my experience with advertising and so on for my e-commerce business and so on. There are certain industries where I have to spend $60 to acquire a customer who will pay me $40, okay, for a $40 product. There are certain industries like that. There are certain industries where you'll be, for example, Shopify themselves, they've admitted recently that they spend over $500 to acquire one customer, right, as a service. Now, is it better that I spend that $100 to acquire that customer, or that $500 or that $50, or rather I price something low to get that customer's trust so that now they can buy and they're happy with what they got? Even if you lose some money here and there, it's okay. Because in the long run, instead of me paying $60 or Todd paying $60 to acquire that customer on our end, you're getting them literally at almost break even or less than break even in this case, because of the technologies that we use and so on. Because somebody could easily sell what we sell for 3 times that, and we can still make a lot of money doing that. But here we're building that customer trust. And that's one of the biggest reasons I believe, and Todd will agree, that we're so successful in JVZoo space. We're the number one.
Yeah, we're lucky that we found each other like that, because very few people have that philosophy, and
Exactly.
It works out really well.
So yeah, that should, I think, answer the question when people ask us, because sometimes people perceive pricing with quality, right? Somebody might say, okay, this is great, everything's great, but the price, why is it not 3 times more? Because the competition is selling it for a recurring price. The competition is selling it with nowhere close to the features, like, for example, our text-to-speech as an example, or built-in voiceovers, in this case with AnimationStudio. The competition doesn't have anywhere close to that. Then why would you even price it so low? Well, that is the reason. It's not so much that the product quality is low. It's super high. Obviously, it's better than everything else out there. But the reason is that if we were to acquire these customers on our own, it's going to cost us 3 times the money either way. So it's in our benefit as well, in a way, to make sure that we get people who are happy when they get in at this price. And then if they like some of the other things inside, like let's say they wanted more templates, let's say they want us to build them more industries and so on, give them more guidance and so on, they'll always be happy to purchase because the first initial experience was so good, right? So that's to answer that question in case some folks are watching this. Hey, you know, these folks are saying they're pricing it low. Why are they doing that? What's the motive there? So that's the reason why, to be honest, that's the way we approach things in our business, and it's worked out well. And I think it's because they're our honest approach in that as well. When we do webinars for our products, exactly what I tell them: hey, this is what it is. This is what we do. I could spend $80 for you to come in on Facebook or on Google or somewhere to find me and buy my product, or I could lose money right here for you to buy, and then you'll be a lifelong customer for us for as long as you wish, right? As long as you're happy to buy from us. So to answer that question.
Great.
Perfect. Well, thank you both so much for giving me your time today. I got a whole lot more in this interview than I even thought possible, with all of the advice that you have shared from your vast experience in the industry. You guys are both industry giants and favorites with the JVZoo platform, and we very much appreciate you. And we wish you more success with this product, AnimationStudio, and all your future products.
Thank you very much.
Just one last thing I want to quickly say is I want to thank Laura as well. JVZoo, she does an excellent job. I think that's the difference maker for JVZoo versus other platforms out there. The hard work she puts in and the availability as well. I think Richard and other folks in JVZoo. The reason why I'm saying that is some of the folks out there, when they want to get into being an affiliate or a vendor, you get all the resources available in JVZoo that is not available elsewhere. So when you can use that use it, to its fullest potential is what I'd say for folks as well, because I know people will be watching this video will be a varied segment of people. So that's why I think Todd and I were trying to cover all the folks out there. So I'd like to thank the JVZoo folks as well for the opportunity to interview us here, but also for the platform itself to get our product out there to the masses.
You guys have been very communicative through this whole launch, and we really appreciate that.
Yep,
thank you. There's a lot that's involved in choosing a product of the day, not just fantastic sales, which is one thing that, of course, AnimationStudio has going for it. The other thing that is super important and impressive about AnimationStudio is their sales page. It's an absolutely beautiful and well done sales page with, it's not overly complicated, so it's not too much coming at you at once, but it's well organized and there's a lot of good information. They have videos that are telling you what the product's all about. Paul actually goes into showing you how the software works, and there are examples of what you can create with the product. They are not over-promising anything on their sales page. They did have a timer at first, and the timer ran down, and when the timer ran down, the price went up. And they are warning you that the price is increasing, and they are doing so. Sometimes we see on sales pages that there is the false scarcity created by a timer that is actually, when it runs down, not increasing the price. So that is really important to us at JVZoo. They also have great testimonials and all their disclaimers and legalese that they need at the bottom of the page. So great job, Todd and Paul. We appreciate you and we congratulate you on another great product. And hopefully all of you, our viewers, will take them as industry leaders as a great example of a fantastic sales page and product and all the wonderful tips and advice that they gave you in this video about how to be a great marketer in this industry. Click the link below in the post or the comments to grab your copy of AnimationStudio.